Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Today, I'm reacting to Judge Joe Brown's comments on Tasha K and regarding the results of the Cardi B defamation lawsuit case against her. And I first want to preface by saying that in no way am I disrespecting or insulting Judge Joe Brown or hating on Judge Joe Brown or, taking away from anything that he has done in his career and his accomplishments and everything else. This is specifically a reaction to his comments as it pertains to this particular case and the outcome and what his comments are. It is nothing in relation to his career or his background or anything like that, just strictly these comments. And so he says the following. He says that the jurors get it wrong, and so that it's a good chance that this will be reversed via appeal because Cardi B is a public figure, and also because of the fact that, $3.8 million is chump change to her, and she'll be able to make that back and more due to her celebrity. And then he had spoke about censorship and shadow blocking, as well as how much this has taken a life of its own on all social media platforms because it's like the #1 trending topic that a lot of people are still discussing, even though we are well past the verdict and everything else, but we still have more court and things to come well after this. And so then he brings up the Sullivan case from the 60s, which of course is, about the First Amendment. However, the First Amendment protects newspapers even when they print false statements, but that is separate from the details of this case. That isn't actually why Cardi B sued. She sued actually for libel and malicious intent and invasion of privacy. So that was why the jury was able to convict, as well as over 1,000 articles of evidence that basically showed that Tasha K acted in malice. Tasha K admitted on the stand that she lied and admitted on the stand that she told these lies because she saw the views, she saw the money she was making off of it, and continued to do it for the clout and to raise her profile and everything else. And so then he talks about as well that people need to read a book and educate themselves and how people are stealing things from each other in different cultures. And I agree with that. What I don't agree with is him saying, quote, "Who gives a damn in the first place about two heifers going off on each other?" And so here's where it takes a turn for me, because it's like, okay, it's one thing to have your opinion that you think that Tasha K can possibly win in an appeal situation, even though people have not. It sounds as though some of these people giving some of these statements have not actually looked up the entire case and saw what actually has taken place in court. That's why I cannot wait for the court transcripts to be released, because it seems as though some people are flip-flopping now, and even some people who were actually in the court are now trying to take a different tune and trying to, change up their views a little bit. And it's kind of looking a little sus to me, because I don't understand why people are not just reporting the truth, and why are people trying to change up for views and followers and everything else. Like, I thought we were better than that. I don't understand. And I don't understand calling, why are we calling black women heifers? Why are we doing that? Like why? Why is that even happening? And why are you calling Cardi B a heifer? Why is that happening? And it's not a situation where they were, quote, two heifers arguing back and forth. The issue was that based off of Tasha K's interview with Star Marie Jones that included all of the slanderous negative things about Cardi B, Tasha K went on to produce several videos after that, reinforcing those same lies that were told, and even saying even worse lies on top of that involving Cardi B's daughter, to the point that people were believing it. People were hashtagging, Cardi B herpes, cold sore B, and everything else. It was picking up legs, and her own winos were then harassing and DMing Cardi B even more disgusting stuff. Like, it's bigger than just, oh, Cardi B's a celebrity, this can get overturned. No. The jury had deliberated in less than 2 hours to come up with this verdict because it was overwhelming amounts of evidence against Tasha K. And Tasha K perjured herself on the stand and even admitted to saying these things and admitted to lying. Like, people need to have the facts before they speak on things. And that's on period. Like, we can't just run with a certain narrative to get clout, to get views, to get everything else. Like, you're saying you want people to be informed, but can people be informed about this case before they speak about it? There is wall-to-wall coverage the past couple of weeks, by Choke No Joke, by Mr. Dennis Byron, by Sylvia, that all have the same account of what took place in this courtroom. That all have the same account of, Tasha K perjuring herself multiple times, of, Cardi B even getting on the stand and speaking her truth of what took place under oath. Like, there is several receipts and evidence that is why the jury convicted Tasha K. So I don't understand why now all of a sudden there's certain people who are trying to change up or now trying to give these favorable, predictions to Tasha K to now push the narrative. And it's like in the same clip, you're saying how there's influence, how people can, monetize and make money off of this story and get views off of this story. But then at the same token, people are also going through a different angle of spreading false information to also get followers and views. And that's not okay. Like, are certain people after Tasha K's followers? Is that what this is? Are people now saying positive things about Tasha K, even though they didn't have that same energy during the trial? Well, even though Joe Brown still called her a heifer, but are they saying this now because they want her near 1 million followers and subscribers? Is that what this is about? Because I don't understand how hard you can go in the paint for the 2 weeks of the trial. And, even some people having firsthand account sitting in that courtroom, seeing what's taking place, and now all of a sudden is giving a different energy in these interviews, or now other people are coming out the woodworks giving these weird quotes, and you didn't follow the trial the past couple of weeks. First of all, the First Amendment wasn't even mentioned in this case at all. It had nothing to do with the First Amendment. Tasha K mentioned that in her statement, but that was not mentioned in the trial at all. This is strictly about libel, which, for those of you who are not aware, that is the act of publishing a false statement that causes people to have a bad opinion of someone, or a published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. So basically, that was why Cardi B was able to win the case. She was able to prove the negative impact that Tasha K's continuing of publishing several videos, repeating the same false statements that she had herpes, that she had HPV, that she cheated on Offset, all of these lies, that it had a significant negative impact. And it affected fans to the point that they were asking her why she was kissing her daughter. Doesn't she have herpes? And to the point when you were Googling Cardi B, you were seeing all of Tasha K's videos coming for her. And then people like to leave out that Cardi B tried to solve this amicably with Tasha K before it even got to court. She tried. She DM'd her. She tried talking to her. She even emailed her receipts to show that everything she was saying wasn't true. And Tasha K wanted her to come on her show. And Cardi B said no. So then there was these onslaught of even more videos. And then came the cease and desist letters. Actually, 3 of them that Tasha K ignored and said she was going to, quote, wipe her ass with them. And now alleging that some family attorney out of DC told her that they weren't real. But there's just so much that has taken place, and I don't want to do like a whole retread of it all, but what is the motivation for these people right now who are now trying to pivot? They're trying to backtrack. they're flip-flopping. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's one thing if somebody that you may have not rocked with before based off of their behavior and you gave a certain opinion on that, and then you see over time that person has changed their behavior for the better. So now you are giving a different opinion on them. You're giving a different level of reporting. But there's a difference between that and witnessing for yourself and seeing for yourself firsthand what actually took place in the courtroom. And now you are saying the complete opposite outside of it now that the case is over. And now that you are seeing, you know, who's doing certain videos in favor of Tasha K, who's doing certain videos that aren't in favor of Tasha K, and vice versa. So now people are trying to like straddle certain fences. Or now they're going on certain platforms giving statements like Judge Joe Brown is to try to push this narrative that Tasha K has a chance to win an appeal. Now, she may have a chance in terms of there being malpractice amongst her legal team. That's a whole separate matter. But as for the case itself, as for the fact that, you know, this being fake news and that this can be overturned and everything else, the jurors got it right. Cardi B's legal team presented a masterful case. They proved in their 1,100 articles of evidence, they proved in their, you know, cross-examinations of Tasha K and of her husband that there wasn't, you know, any type of, you know, empathy or regard or sympathy or anything, or feeling any level of remorse at this point of everything that's taken place. Even now, it was still the Tasha K show in the courtroom where she was, you know, feeling it. She was saying she did it for money, she did it for clout, she did it for views. She was saying, you know, that, you know, pretending not to know certain answers to questions and choosing not to answer certain questions, but then volunteering extra information about questions that weren't asked. So I implore people before they make certain statements to please do your research, to please have all of the facts before getting on these platforms and just completely saying some things that are blasphemous. Like, let's not do that. Let's not insult each other's intelligence. And this is why people following this Trump-esque form of news telling is very dangerous. It is very dangerous how certain people can get popular now using this Trump formula of spreading fake news enough to where people can believe it. Because there's people now who believe that this trial is a conspiracy, that, you know, it was rigged for Tasha K to lose, and we are completely missing the boat on responsibility and accountability in the first place. We are missing the ignored attempts to prevent this from going to court, and we're all just trying to make it about the outcome and how much money the judgment is. And we're not looking at the behavior that could have prevented this. We're not looking at the receipts that validate Cardi B's case and what she was able to prove in court. And that's a very dangerous road to go down this fake news route of not telling people the truth and trying to get people's hopes up of fake news, of false narratives. That is a very dangerous road to go down. It doesn't make sense to me that the same 5 people that were reporting on this case for the past 2.5 weeks, now all of a sudden they all have different stories. No. They all had the same story. They all had the same account of what took place in that courtroom. So why are other people giving out these different quotes, these different narratives that's now feeding Tasha K, feeding her winos? Now she's reposting Joe Budden stuff. She's probably going to repost this, you know, Judge Joe Brown clip, except for the part where he's calling her a heifer. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And we have to do better, you guys. We have to do better. First of all, we need to stop name calling people, because that's not okay. That's not mature behavior. You can critique somebody, you can give an opinion on somebody without name calling them. Let's not do that. We were raised better than that. Let's not do that. Let's not name call people. And secondly, can we have the research completed before we just spew off stuff for clicks and views? Because Judge Joe Brown, he knew this was going to go viral. He knows that this is going to go viral. He knows people are going to talk about it. So I just implore people to research, have your facts, have your ducks in a row before speaking on things. Have all of the facts, have all of the receipts. Have both sides of everything so you can make an accurate opinion on something instead of just saying what first comes to mind and you don't have all of the information. Or now that you have seen the reaction and the response from a lot of the public, now you're pivoting in another direction for whatever you get out of it. And that's not okay. We have to stop, babying and coddling certain people and, giving people millions and millions of chances to do better, and they still show you who they are every single time. Because whether you like it or not, there will be something that does change, that people that do that type of reporting, they're not going to be able to get away with it anymore. Because everybody is talking about what is YouTube going to do and what is going to happen with this injunction hearing. So there are going to be changes. Certain people are not going to be allowed to put out the same type of content that they've been putting out as a result of this case. And that's a whole separate conversation that we need to have in terms of what that means for certain content creators. But to knowingly, get on these platforms and just, say, the complete opposite of what the majority of everybody else has been saying the past couple of weeks is starting to get a little weird, is starting to get a little suspect. And I'm starting to question if there's a other conspiracy to push another narrative, to make it look as though, what we just witnessed for the past couple of weeks wasn't real. Because some people seem to be heading in that direction. And it's very, very dangerous if we go that direction, if we go that route and we do not stick to the facts. We do not stick to what the facts are. So please let me know your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think about Judge Joe Brown's comments? Those of you, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I have playlists, of course, of the trial, of what took place the 2 weeks, as well as a separate playlist of all of these out-of-courtroom shenanigans that pertain to this case, because it is not going away anytime soon. And also, I implore you to also check out other things I've discussed in a review of my channel if you're new. Also, to my subscribers, to my supporters, thank you. I'm grateful, I'm thankful and appreciative of each and every single one of you. You guys go hard in the paint, you guys go hard in the comments, and I am so grateful for all of you. I'm trying to get back to all of you. As you know, it's been a little busy. It's been a lot going on these past couple of weeks, especially with all stuff happening both in the news and everything else. So I'm trying to get to you guys. I promise. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.